what is love? What is the meaning of love? How does one define what love is? I mean, it's becoming so hard to define the word love because people are using it so loosely. For example, I love putting on my shirt right after I've ironed it. I mean, that shit just feels so nice. I also love using Q-tips. I mean, that shit just feels so fucking good. But I remember the first time I said the L word to a female other than my mother. It's actually around the time that I lost my virginity for the first time. Yes, because I can lose my virginity more than once. So one night I'm at my ex-girlfriend's house. We're chilling one night and just watching a movie. The movie was kind of lame, so you know, we started making out. Things start to get really intense and then we eventually make our way to the bedroom. I just picked her up and I was just so we get into the room and clothes are flying everywhere and then she starts giving me a blowjob. And I just remember thinking to myself, this is the best blowjob ever. Partially because it was the first blowjob I had ever received. But anyway, that's besides the point. We ended up having sex later on that night. Yes, she was my first. She took my virginity and my heart. So the morning after, we wake up and I suddenly feel like a changed man. So I get dressed and then she drives me home. But while in her car, I start having mild anxiety because I start feeling this urge to say it. Those 3 life-changing words. 20 minutes later, we arrive at my house and then she kisses me goodbye. At this point, my hands are all clammy, my heart's racing. I suddenly have to take a shit, but I was just like, yo, fuck it. You lost your virginity last night. You're a man now, so man the fuck up. So I take a deep breath and I say it. I love you. Then I was like, yeah, what a relief. And then she looks at me, she smiles. She says those 3 words, AJ, thank you. Bitch, what? I mean, this was the first time I had said I love you to someone and I was confused as hell. I mean, how do you even respond to something like that? You're welcome. Anytime. So I hopped out of her car, slammed her door as hard as I could, and stormed the fuck off. And it took me a long time to realize that although she was a very great girl, I wasn't in love with her. She just took my virginity and I figured she owed me. So eventually me and the girl broke up not too long after that, not because of that situation. About a year later, I met another girl, AKA my first true love. I mean, she's actually the reason why I started this whole YouTube thing. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be as motivated as I am today. Of course, my subscribers have a lot to do with that now, but you know what I mean. She even made a comic book of how we met. And I mean, one part of me was thinking, this is the sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me. And then the other side was thinking, how the hell am I gonna top that? So one night after we finished, you know, getting busy, you know, I hold her in my arms and I pull her close to me. And it's like, the moment is just blissful and romantic and shit. But then she does something really weird at this point. She grabs my pillow, buries her face in it, and starts to giggle. Some of you girls probably know exactly what that meant and are like, aww. But you see, the thing with me is I tend to overanalyze everything, and that, with a combination of my own paranoia, kind of stemmed this reaction. What the fuck is so funny about me? Funny how? Funny like a clown? I amuse you? I don't know, man. I was young, man. Fuck you. It got so bad to the point that we argued on the phone for like half an hour because she would not tell me what she was giggling about. Because like all women, they just refuse to tell you anything just to drive you crazy. After a while, I just ended up dropping the whole thing. One night, we're at Niagara Falls for a romantic getaway. And you know, and it's the same routine. My hands get really clammy, my heart starts racing, I'm gonna take a shit. And I realize that I'm about to become completely vulnerable to this girl. I mean, at the time, I'd only known her for 5 months, but I could see myself spending the rest of my life with her, which was exciting, but scary as hell at the same time. And then I told her that I loved her. And then I remember she just stared at me for a second, and then a single tear streamed down her face. And then she grabbed my pillow, held it to her face, and then started to giggle. And then she told me that she loved me too. And then I remember just staring at her and thinking, what the f- are you, that's what it was? Are you serious? Such an idiot, man, shit. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I teared up a little bit, all right? Just a little bit, all right? It was nice, because at that time, it was one of the greatest moments I had ever experienced in my life. Aside from losing my virginity, of course. And that's my story. But of course, you guys didn't come here for a story. You guys came here for me to define what love really is. But to be honest, I don't really know how to define love. I'm just glad I know what it feels like. With that being said, answer me this question. When was the first time you fell in love? I'm your boy Tactics, Peace, and I'm out.